So it's kind of sad that this is going to happen. And, last season, it was only one team that was really interested in Brian Callahan. And obviously, one team interested in Lou. And then we ended up keeping them both. And it was like the Hollywood ending, I would say. But now that potentially three teams are going to be requesting an in-person interview with Brian Callahan, that means he's going up that list right now. He's going up that list of possible candidates to go ahead and get the head coaching job for their respective clubs. So Callahan has an in-person interview scheduled on Monday with the Tennessee Titans. So this is going to be a full-on interview. Again, I've said many times, in-person interviews is a little bit more in-depth. They actually sit down with the guy, kind of see his mannerisms, see if they like him or not. And usually if you get a second in-person interview, you have made the top 5 list of that said club. So usually how it works is they have a list of coaches they like and they interview over the phone. And then they kind of narrow down the list on which coaches they liked and didn't like by, the phone interview. And if you get a second interview, then you pretty much are making it to that top 5 list. And then they go ahead and kind of narrow down from there, right? So Titans very, very interested in Brian Callahan. But with potentially the Chargers getting Jim Harbaugh, and then the Falcons could also, technically speaking, get could get Bill Belichick. The Panthers and the Falcons have also expressed interest in interviewing Callahan in person, as Tom Pelissero said, and I'm told those interviewers could very well happen this week. So now we have 3 clubs potentially who are going to be interviewing Brian Callahan in the second process, and that's going to be the in-person interview. It's becoming more and more every day that Dan Pitcher will be our OC. And like I said before, I would love to bring in someone who, I feel like I would love to bring in someone who's more of a, experienced OC. But the more I kind of think about it and sit down and reflect on everything, Dan Pitcher has earned this job. He has earned this spot. He's been with us for a good amount of time now, and I wish him the best of luck. I really do. Not only because, my team's future and fate depends on how good he plays and how good he coaches, but I also think he can do it, and I think he can do it very successfully. So I'm excited for Dan Pitcher, and every day as this process goes on, we're getting closer and closer to just finally hearing the, Brian Callahan signed with this team, or he's now the head coach of this team or that team. I will say out of those 3 options, Panthers, Falcons, and Titans, I think the best option for Brian probably is going to be the Falcons. I feel like just the Falcons. I don't know, though, because Panthers, again, go to the Panthers. I think they're bringing Tyler Boyd. You got a young quarterback that he can develop and hopefully get figured out with Bryce Young, right? He also goes to NFC, so we don't have to deal with him or play him. Although we do play the Panthers next year. That's actually a thing. But, and then obviously as Hayden Hurst. I don't know. I think for the best longevity and success, it would be the Falcons. Just because the NFC South is kind of weak right now, and I feel like he could at least take over that division. The team almost made the playoffs this year in the Falcons. They at least could, he has building blocks to go off of, right? To actually figure things out. But it just, man, this is like the part of football that really does suck. And I know, listen, every team this offseason are going to be losing their OCs or DCs if they were successful in any way. The Ravens, for example, they're going to be losing their OC and DC this offseason. Both of them have head coaching, jobs offered. So they're going to lose both of those guys. So, it's a part of football. It's part of the business. Whenever you're successful, you're going to have your OC and your DC get head coaching jobs because teams, it's the copycat league, and teams want to be successful. And the best way they can be successful is by simply copying another team, success and trying to kind of weigh their options with that. So it is what it is at the end of the day. It just sucks because, I don't want to lose Brian. And part of football. And I wish him the best of luck. Again, like I said, wherever he goes, whether he goes to Atlanta, he goes to the Panthers, or he goes to the Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans is going to be, in my opinion, I think that's the worst job. Because you lose Derrick Henry, right? You still got the quarterback situation up in the air. You don't know where you're going there. Wide receiver, DeAndre is going to leave. So Traylon Burks is the number one receiver there. Defensively, you got a good defense to work on, and maybe he can kind of work on the offense because he is an offensive mind. He's a OC, for Pete's sake. So maybe he can work on the offense a little bit and try to figure that out. And wherever he goes, the thing about this is, wherever he goes, he's going from Joe Burrow, right, to either Desmond Ridder or whoever they draft, Bryce Young, or Will Levis. He's definitely getting a downgrade. I'll say that. He's definitely getting a downgrade. At least if he went to the Chargers, and if any of the spots I would want him to go to, in all honesty, would be the Chargers. I would want him to go to Chargers, and the reason why is because it would be the most successful spot possible, because of the fact that they have Justin Herbert already. They figure stuff out with the draft. They can at least get a good receiving core. I know Keenan Allen might be one. They also might lose Austin Eckler. But at least that would be the best spot for him. And so I wish he went to the Chargers. That would be a spot I really want him to go, just for his success and longevity in the NFL as a coach. But, hey, listen. You know, you go to wherever the opportunity knocks. And when the opportunity knocks, you open the door and you go for it. So we're going to see how this ends up going. But tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.